the rest of our conversation, I would appreciate going public.
No problem, no problem. Well, Chief Justice Holland, we love you. We want you to get out of prison, and anything you want us to know or tell us how we can help or anything you want to say, they've captured you again. For those that are just now coming up to speed on your case, it's an absolute tragedy. My understanding is they ambushed you at 3 o'clock in the morning on the way to your son, and now you're back in prison. So anything you want us to know or any way we can help, we certainly are all ears. Chief Justice Holland, yes.
Yes, this is Chief Justice Holland calling from being kidnapped here. I'm currently being held hostage at Prince George Regional Correctional Center in Prince George, British Columbia, Canada, and they are unlawfully prosecuting me and holding me hostage. So they are abusing their powers, they're abusing their authority. Both Canada and the United States have conspired against me and my colleague, Justice Parsons, who is currently being held hostage in the prison in Memphis, Tennessee. So we are asking, well, just to give you some background, I had won my case and I conceded and condescended to give jurisdiction to British Columbia, simply limited jurisdiction so that they could hear in law why they have no jurisdiction over me. And the four major points, and it is not limited to these points, but these are the major points which I had won on in law, which they totally ignored. They can't do that. They can't railroad me into prison ignoring the law. Number one, the Supreme Court of Canada in 2014 acknowledged title for the Chilcotin Nation, and the minimum a person can say is sovereign Chilcotin land is the title land. And from those title lands, the Universal Supreme Court was created. The Universal Supreme Court ruled from those title lands, and anybody can look it up. Supreme Court of Canada 2014 title decision for the Chilcotin Nation versus British Columbia, and that's for the public to confirm that they acknowledge the title land. The title in that decision, the Supreme Court of Canada acknowledged the right for the Chilcotin people to abrogate provincial law, replace it with Chilcotin law. And that's exactly what I did when I was working with the Chilcotin National Congress, the true hereditary government of the Chilcotin. And so the Chilcotin people created the Universal Supreme Court, which Justice Parsons and I are sitting judges, now currently being held hostage. My colleague has been railroaded into prison. I am currently being into prison, even though both of us are not only judicial officials and ambassadors for the nation, we are internationally protected as per the Convention on Prevention and Punishment of Crimes Against Internationally Protected Persons and Diplomatic Agents, as well as the Vienna Convention on Diplomatic Relations and in relation the Montevideo Convention on the Rights and Duties of State, which, of course, our Grand Chief in 2016 declared the statehood of the Chilcotin Caribou region to be a sovereign, independent state. So I also won on the fact that I had challenged Canada and British Columbia on a quo warranto challenge with respect to their authority on Chilcotin land. And there was not one scintilla of evidence or proof submitted by Crown Counsel, the prosecutor here in Canada, to show that they have any lawful authority whatsoever to rule, to govern on Chilcotin soil. So I won that. The judge totally ignored that. Then again, I read into the record dozens and dozens of case law on officer de facto doctrine, which the judge said not one word about with respect to all my orders having to be upheld by every court until my authority is challenged, and my authority has never been challenged. and neither has Justice Parsons or the court's authority, which was created lawfully and within all domestic and international laws. So it looks like I'm going to be locked up again here, and so I'm going to have to run, but God bless you all. I need to speak more about what happened in court yesterday. God bless you, and I'll try and call back a little bit later.
Hey, Sue, if you don't, no big deal, but do you have time for one quick question?
I don't know.
Okay, I'll make it quick. Brian Christie wanted to help you, and he started to research your case. He's on our Saturday prayer call, and he heard about you. He was very touched by your situation. He ended up finding this website, universalsupremecourt.org, which appears to have been taken over by your enemies. Looks like I lost you, Sue. You there?
Yes.
Oh,
yes,
and I told Brian that you have a lot of enemies, and they took over your website, and they put out slander and defamatory comments about you and your colleagues. And is that true about universalsupremecourt.org was taken over by your enemies?
Yes, it was. They had illegally hijacked our domain and putting out all kinds of criminal slander against us. And so we are going to be prosecuting Professor Trent Chalous is his name. He needs to be prosecuted from New Mexico University. He's a professor there, and he's very psychologically disturbed. Okay.
God bless you, Sue. God bless you. We're praying for you. Bye-bye.